What's up, guys? It's Brian from HASHWAREHUB. It's about 10 after 9 p.m. Eastern Time, January 15, 2018. We're coming to you with a brand new trading video. Specifically, this one is on Litecoin and Litecoin only. But first, before we get to it, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, re-steam, upvote, whichever platform you're on. It would be all greatly appreciated. We're new, just to basically right across the board. If you're watching us on Steam or DTube, you can definitely go over to YouTube and you'll see we got a ton more videos there. But regardless, I think we've only been going at this for about a month, even though I have been trading professionally since about 1999. So we have a lot of experience in this, to say the least. So let's get right into it here. Litecoin, this is Poloniex. This is a 4-hour chart, like I said. And the last time we made this video, we were sitting at right at this C right here. And we were hoping for a D and an E. I believe it was right at a C. Right at the C is where we made the last video. So it looks like we made this D. It looks like the market's coming down to make the E. And the E is sitting right on this support line that we had drawn right here. It's almost like a little bullish wick right there, which could be really cool. A very cool sign of things to come, if that's the case, if that's what it actually is. The market's been selling off here. The market's been selling off quite precipitously, probably within the last hour or two. And actually, I'm going to pull up Bitcoin real quick, just so you can see that, so you can see what's going on right here. If you want to understand all this right here, we made a video earlier in the day. Look at that video earlier in the day, and you'll be able to understand exactly what all this, what it was, kind of like hornet's nest of support and resistance lines are. But you'll see that right there. So, this is what we're seeing on Bitcoin, where it looks like it's breaching the triangle here. That's what's going on here on Bitcoin. But on Litecoin, it doesn't look like that. It doesn't look like really a breach at all. It looks like possibly a bullish wick. So these coins tend to trade rather, they tend to trade pretty closely in correlation. So when one has one type of chart pattern, the others tend to have the same and or if not similar chart patterns. So it'd be interesting to see if this is truly a triangle here on Litecoin, and then in Bitcoin it turns into some other thing. That would be a divergence that we really haven't seen very much of yet between these coins. So it's something we're definitely going to keep an eye on. But so assuming that that's what this is, if this really just made an A, B, C, D, E, then that's a very bullish thing for Litecoin. Okay, what we have here too is that this sell-off came in on low volume, really low volume. Take a look at it right here. This is exactly what we want to see as far as volume is concerned on a triangle. You want to see this volume basically just peter out to almost nothing. Just really dribs and drabs, almost nothing. Let's see actually what's going on in Bitcoin real quick. Okay, volume is definitely going down. This sell-off here happened on pretty light volume, especially in consideration from the past, especially in the beginning of this triangle. So that's still an okay sign. It's still a good sign that this triangle may be for real. So what are we looking at from a bigger picture? Okay, what are we? Everybody's always thinking, what's your prediction? What's your prediction? Your price prediction. So we'll give you one. The mustard line here, this yellowish color line, is like the major Elliott wave that we're seeing. Okay, and then we're gonna lay in a smaller one. We're gonna lay it in somewhere around here. Okay, if this were to shoot up and continue along this Elliott wave pattern, this is what we believe we're going to see on average over time, that the market's going to go from here to basically a price of about $1,000, and then we're going to have a sell-off, and then it's going to come back up to about $1,300. Okay, and then from there we're going to have a major correction, and then we're going to continue on from there. But that's the way that we're looking at right now. There's 5 waves to an impulse wave. Okay, some people call it impulse, some people call it motive wave. Traditionally, according to Elliott wave theory, they call it motive wave. But a motive wave is basically the waves that get you in the direction of the market. In other words, this is a bullish market right now. So the wave, the motive waves are anything that's basically pointing up. Anything that's pointing in the opposite direction is a correction. And they come in different forms. Any motive wave comes in a form of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Any correction normally comes in a ABC correction, except for when it comes to triangles, and there's other formations as well that really haven't reared their ugly heads yet in the crypto world. But if you're familiar with the more traditional markets, those types of crazy formations rear their heads every single day. So that's what we're seeing right now. That's the way we're looking at the market right now. That possibly maybe an interim high is going to be somewhere around $422. It may be a correction from there, and then it may run up from there. Now, not every time does a correction just end in a triangle. Okay, normally what happens is, according to Elliott wave theory, the market has some sort of flat correction, like an ABC correction or a zigzag correction, and then it usually terminates in some sort of triangle. Well, you don't really see that much in cryptos. Cryptos, they tend to, their corrections or the sell-offs tend to be much faster than other markets. However, their run-ups too are much faster than most other markets. Even though I've traded a lot of other crazy markets before, like nat gas and stuff like that during shortage periods, and it can be quite nuts. So, yeah, I mean, that's what we're seeing right now. This is kind of the pace of the market, and you know, we're basically we're just gonna have to see what's going on, and we're gonna see if this right here truly is, you know, confirming to the triangle, and if it's gonna run up. There's a possibility if it runs up, we still have this bearish flag that could possibly happen, similar to what's going on in Bitcoin. And again, I'll forward you over to the Bitcoin video that we made earlier today, that as this comes up here, we're not in the woods. We're totally not in the woods. There's still, not out of the woods. There's still a possibility that this is a bearish flag. So it's really a time of increased awareness of the possibilities. And I'm not muddying up this anymore with any more possibilities of direction the market can go, but there definitely are. But first, let's go take a look at the algorithms. All right, this is Litecoin on a 4-hour basis, Poloniex, and this triangle is approximation of the triangle that you see on TradingView. So what are we looking at right here? Okay, this last bar right here is literally the last 4 hours. It's the current bar right here. You can probably see it. It's very small. But let's look at the indicators. We're not really looking at price action right now. We're looking at the indicators. So the indicators got kind of bullish right here as far as the trend strength is concerned on a 4-hour basis. Right here, it's not such a bad place. It's actually a pretty good place to kind of get in. And you know, the market, it obviously ran up and then it came back down again. And the D-trend is also kind of going down overall. But it went up and then it kind of is going sideways right now. What I like is the fact that the trend is not falling off right here. Because if it were to be falling off, then there's obviously something else going on in the market, on the structure of the market, that would make this go down. So it's nothing definitive as far as the D-trend is concerned, but obviously the trend strength indicator is still pointing, kind of pointing up. It's cupping over a little bit, but it's not bearish, it's not super bullish, but it's pointing towards the bullish direction. The MACD, nothing really can really pull out of it just yet. I mean, it's kind of the leading, the lead is below the trailing, but at the same time, the sign indicator has made a bottom and it's pointing up. So that's definitely bullish for Litecoin on the 4-hour basis. So hold up a sec. Let's take a look at it on a daily basis. Okay, so Litecoin daily bars, Poloniex data, and trend strength in a similar fashion, you know, kind of bottomed out here. It didn't quite get very bearish at all like we like it to, and then it kind of came up off those lows. It's turning over, you know, looking to be going down again, but there's nothing to say over a day or two, if the market were to continue to go up, or actually go up, that this wouldn't turn around and start turning bullish again. The D trend is going sideways. Nothing really much to say. Nothing really much to say there. The MACD is also still bearish. I mean, it kind of crossed over right here, and then it continues to go down. We also don't have the hidden support level in right here, but what we do have is that the sign indicator is kind of bottoming out, and actually the lead is starting to cross the trailing sign indicator, and that could potentially be a bullish sign in order for the market to run back up again. But all in all, on a daily basis, there really isn't anything that would make me try to scramble and say, oh, I got to get into Litecoin right now. If you look at it on a technical basis, as far as Elliott Wave is concerned, it's at a low. It's at a place that you would go ahead and start laddering in some trades. The way we like to trade is not only doing that, but also becoming a bit more, I guess, scientific about it and exacting about it with our approach, and we use the algorithms to also get in too. I remember on the 4-hour basis, we did have kind of a bullish signal there, so that could have been a spot also to get in too. So with that said, you know, it's kind of a mixed bag, but it's definitely a time for heightened awareness, specifically around those levels I was speaking about prior when we were looking at TradingView. Those levels right now, making sure that that triangle is actually in effect. And if not, then we have to then go ahead and take a look at, well, what is the market trying to tell us? So from there, there's a very good possibility that the market may go up. And if it goes up, it's going to go up in the fashion that we had mentioned. If it goes down, like I said, we're then going to have to go ahead and revisit the chart patterns. However, we do feel that much of the correction is over. So if it does go down and correct a touch more, it's not going to be any major sell-off by any means. So we're going to leave it there. Any questions, let us know. Feel free to hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, a re-steam, and a upvote would be greatly appreciated. Speak to you guys soon. Thanks.